Welcome, everyone, to Starcaster Radio. And I have Barbara and Naomi here, and we are just so excited to spend this time with you as we create our new earth reality and bond together as beautiful souls. And we just want to uplift you and let you know that you are never alone. We are all light beings, and though it can seem like we're on this journey alone, this is a place where you can come and know that you are with your own family. And so we are going to start today with connecting to the Counsel of Light through the God particle. And every time I just say that aloud, I just feel all this beautiful, loving energy coming in. So just know that you are so supported by the universe, and your mission here matters, and that the most important thing is to just shine your light from within. And today we are going to ask for a download to raise the frequencies and clear any old primal programming around experiencing change. So we're just going to see this download just enter the top of our heads. And this program, or this download, is coming straight from the God particle. So you can just kind of see this download enter the top of your head. And it's almost just like a lovely, beautiful white light that's almost like a liquid, and it just fills up your brain. And it just continues to trickle down, and it trickles down to the reptile, or the lower brain. And as the light enters this part of our brain, it begins to activate and raise the frequencies around the programming of fight or flight, and just these old primal programs that we don't need in our new earth reality. You can just see this liquid white light just activating and raising the frequency of this part of our brain. And just knowing that through the God particle, that the Counsel of Light is almost just working on you specifically, and where is going to help you evolve in the most magnificent way. So though we are all experiencing this together, we are each getting exactly what we need. Just taking this in, this gift from our divine. And as this work on our lower mind and our reptile mind, and even activating our higher mind so that we can move through change and the unknown with just ease and grace and joy, we are just being downloaded with the ease of the connection to just flowing with whatever it is that we are experiencing. We're just going to allow this liquid light, white light, to just kind of flow down. And it's just going to enter our hearts. And as it enters our hearts, it activates these synapse responses in our heart, and it's upgrading every cell and the intelligence of our heart to the highest level that we can resonate in individually today. Just feel this light intelligence merge with your heart, just activating this intelligent mind of your own heart, knowing that it's fully connected with your divine, raising the frequencies of any responses that are no longer serving us, Just with ease and grace, we release, we raise our frequency, and we fully connect divine intelligence to the intelligence of our own hearts. And then this light just gently flows, and it enters our adrenal glands and our kidneys. And as it does this, it's raising the frequency, and it's just releasing that, the adrenal response or the fight or flight response. And it's upgrading it to the response level that is going to be most appropriate for us as we continue to step into the new earth platform, as we create our new earth reality. We are just being upgraded on a cellular level, on a spiritual level, on an intellectual level. Just our consciousness is just moving into what it means to be the new human. And as we move into the new human, our body is also upgrading and changing as more light enters our cells and our molecules. Just feel what it feels like to release those old programs of fight or flight, and as we just lovingly step into what it feels like to live in light intelligence, and just feel that joy and grace. And we're just going to allow this light to continue to flow through your body, just activating every cell and every molecule of the body. We gratefully accept this upgrade, this download from the divine intelligence. With the help of the Counsel of Light, each of us will be worked on as we spend this time together, and whatever is appropriate for us and our highest good in this moment and in this day. Completely safe and protected in the light of our divine. Okay, and we're just going to thank the Counsel as it continues to work on each of us. And we are going to move in to asking Naomi some wonderful questions. And Naomi, did you connect to the Counsel Light at all and have any sort of message as we did this download today?
I did, and it's been something I've been hearing in the back of my mind for the last few days. But as we were receiving the download, just the message I was hearing was getting louder and louder, and the message is to call upon the Elohim, which in the Bible, Elohim means God. But it feels more than God. It's like Elohim is a light language. It's part of the light language. So Elohim is a noun because it means God, but it also is a verb because it means movement of God. And it's also an adjective because it describes God's movement. And so we're being asked to call upon the Elohim for basically the movement that we would like to see in our life.
Oh, I love that. And I think that, that movement is so much of what we are going to continue to experience as we let go of density. The light energy is just way more active than kind of what we are experiencing. And I feel like that's also another reason why time seems to speed up is because we're releasing, just more of that dense energy. Is there anything that the Council of Light would like to say about expanding on, how we can move through this movement and this energy as we continue to just move more into a different existence?
Yes. So in the Seed of the Soul, do you know the last sentence that you wrote, Julie?
It isn't the way it just is. Is that the one you're talking about?
Yes. So this is what we can be downloaded with. It isn't the way it is. And for an example, feel the difference in these two statements. I'm going to step upon the New Earth platform, or I am standing on the New Earth platform. So
the second one has a high frequency.
Because if you strip away time and space, you're already standing on it. Just from the reality of third dimension, sometimes you don't realize it, or it might seem like the future, but actually it's in the now. So if all we're called to do is be and ask the movement of the Elohim to move us.
So how could we take that, this channeling or this knowledge and, use it to manifest other parts of our lives that we may struggle with and have that already existing in the new earth?
Well, it's in the download. It isn't the way it is. And as we ask for this download, we release density in our minds. And as we release that density in our minds, we can start experiencing more beyond time and space, or starting to experience more of God, more of our light body.
I love that. So maybe we should, go ahead.
Well, it's really loving yourself, because the more you can love yourself, the more you can integrate with God.
So let's ask for that download of that our bodies, our minds, heart, and soul knows what it feels like to love ourselves deeply in connection with our divine. And and as we ask for this download, that it fully resonates in every cell, but also it resonates with the part of our mind where we can create the feeling of self-love in every action and thought that we have throughout the day. Barbara, did you have any kind of questions that you wanted to ask today?
Well, nothing has come up so far, but I will interject if I get something. At this point, I'm just listening and supporting.
Thank you.
So, what I'm hearing is you are a guardian angel of God, and if you start to realize that, it will help you embrace your own self. And we are basically working as the Elohim for God, like we are in the third dimensional reality, God's movement.
I've got a question, I think. How do we fully realize our divinity? How do we bring that into this third dimensional existence at this point in time and see our essence for the divine, our divinity, I guess would be the word. How do we bring that into our understanding while we're standing here in this third dimensional existence?
Let's ask for the download for that.
Yes.
It's like if really it's just starting with loving your own self, because even the things we feel like are quirks, God just loves about us. And if you can just feel yourself being this guardian angel for God, if you can feel that, that will help release density.
I guess what I'm trying to say is, just from my own personal feeling, is I have no point of reference in this third dimension for that understanding. So I guess my question is, not having a point of reference, how do we get to that point to where we know this and can implement this other part of ourself, which is our true self? And I know that on an intellectual level, but I need to understand how to get there on a integrative level.
Well, it's already happening. It might be happening at such a small pace that we don't actually see it, because we're looking through the lenses of time. Who we are in third dimension is just a small part of who we really are. So if you could look through the lenses without time and space, you would feel that connection. So let's do a download standing on the New Earth platform. Breathe in the gifts from the Counsel. And ask for the Elohim, the movement of God, to help with our releasing density in the mind, in the body, opening our sacred heart.
You know, I feel like as you were asking for that download, Naomi, I had this almost like pop or just an electric charge in my brain, and the message that I got behind it was, is that like it's almost like I could see what happens when we start to experience something that it feels like a lower density, and so I don't know, I'll just explain it. I think I've said this maybe somewhat before, but now I just have a better understanding of what I'm saying when I say it. So like when we are our normal existence, or what we experience when we're alone or just in a good space, let's say we're at 60 degrees, and when we have something come in that's at 30 degrees, our mind is, our physical body and our emotional and our spiritual body register that, we have entered a lower frequency or a lower temperature. And it doesn't necessarily mean that it's bad, but our mind registers it as being uncomfortable, and so we have to go into a story and judge it. And it's that little part of the mind that has to judge the experience as good or bad, is that primal part of the mind that's just trying to keep us safe. And when I felt that little pop, I understood that at such a deep level. But what it really is it's just another frequency that we're experiencing in our energy field. But because it's not a frequency our body is already resonating with, it registers it as it's bad or dangerous, and we're whatever it is. So I kind of feel like that's a little bit about what Naomi was asking for, is how we can move past that. And I think it's just that, like we could ask for just the consciousness of being able to experience lower temperatures or lower frequencies without our mind having to go into a place of having to create a story in order to feel safe.
Okay. I think I'm understanding what you're saying a little bit more. I think that you're absolutely right, you and Naomi both, but when we're here, or at least for me, when I'm in this density, everything seems to have some explanation or some understanding, and it's very hard to step past that, because that is what this dimension is all about. So I guess our job would be then to intend and accept that this is what we are, and know that from a different level than having to define it and put it into a third dimensional box, I guess. And I suppose that what that truly means is that each one of us has to make that decision, that is the place we want to go, and that make that decision that we are accepting the divinity of ourselves without judgment.
That's exactly what the Counsel was saying when they said, even accept your quirks, because even that is beautiful. Even that, the quirks are a gift. So, yes, don't judge it and just embrace yourself. And seeing myself singing, and it's so funny. I'm singing like Elohim to my higher self is, let's just call it my higher self, is singing it to like myself in third dimension. And my mind would perceive that as the future, because the frequency coming through is very pure, but it's not actually the future. It's now, but it's the part of me that lives beyond space and time. And so I can hear it. It's like, Elo, Elohim, Elo, Elohim. And the part of me who is singing is so mindful that there's nothing else on the mind except singing this song to us right now, because that part of the mind that lives beyond time and space knows it's the most important thing to do. And it's just such a part of the mind that is so into the moment and present, and there's no static.
Wow. I could feel
the frequency. Yeah.
Yes, and when you sang that, it was just like it goes beyond words. It's like all of a sudden it is just frequency, and that frequency is what we're looking for. That's where truth is. And sometimes maybe that's where we need to go, is just with frequency, whether it's singing or whether it's drumming or whatever that it is that is comfortable for you, is what will make that transformation a reality. Beautiful.
No, and I think that you just said it so perfectly, is that, when you're saying, well, I have to understand, or I have to, take this experience and experience it or understand it in a third dimensional way. And I feel like that's what's being called of us, is that we don't have to have that anymore, and that the way that we are going to step out or be in the new earth is to just be okay with not understanding it until we can resonate in that place long enough that our brain can start to create that reality. Because our brains are so programmed to look for the answer from our database or what we've experienced in the past. And now we're being asked to do is to not go to that database anymore, because we don't want to experience the information from the past that's stored there. We want to basically have a blank canvas and just allow frequency to build long enough to where it can start to create something on that canvas.
Yes, absolutely. I agree. Perfect.
And just by
So
asking,
exciting.
Yes.
Yeah, just by asking for these downloads today and inviting them in, we're already releasing the density in our mind, just for some more purity to come in and integrate more into the God source.
Wow. Awesome understanding. Thank you.
Yeah, I have chills right now. It's so powerful, and let's just also ask for the download to just take out, and maybe you kind of already said this, Naomi, but just to take out the expectation of how this will look for us and how long it will take, and just, like you said, like have a deep knowing within our hearts that it has already happened, and we're just waiting for our minds to catch up.
Yes, because how would you act if you knew there was no sense or there was no time and space? Like, how would your day change? Would you still feel rushed when you were driving to an appointment? Would you still get, like, that fight or flight when you were about to miss a plane? Like, even if you miss a plane, you miss a flight, you can still enjoy the moment of just that gift of being in the moment. And so we can start to release that primal fight or flight instinct.
So let's also ask for the download of just fully knowing in our cells and our molecules, and just really activating this part of our mind and DNA around what it feels like to fully be in acceptance of each moment. Like, so, each now moment that we are in just an open-hearted space of our experience. Ooh. Is there any other messages that the Council wants to bring in for us today?
Just to end on the note that you are a guardian angel of God, and you are so loved. So love yourself as much as you would love your guardian angel who protects you and watches out for you.
Barbara, did you have any questions for the Council, or anything else you wanted to discuss today?
No, I don't think so. I think it was very, the information that was brought in for me anyhow was very enlightening, and I want to just thank Naomi and the Council for that. And I'm going to go with that into the rest of the week and practice.
Yes, and then we'll also just know that, as we wrap up this session, that our work is still being done. The Council will continue to support these downloads and upgrades until they are completed. So we just are so grateful for the work that the Council brings in for us, and it's such a beautiful thing. Did you have anything else to add, Naomi?
Jess, thank you. I just feel all this gratitude and love, and I just want to share this frequency.
So let's just kind of imagine that just all of our soul families just holding hands and just channeling love from our hearts to one another, as we are just all blessed in experiencing this, this upgrade today that we have been gifted with. Okay, so I have this writing here that was brought in to my attention for us to close with today. So it's a little different way of closing, but here we go. Finding the way from thought, going through the light, and into frequency. The mind is only a game. It will be through pictures that you will communicate. Even if others seem to not pick up on the process, they are being downloaded with what they can take in at this time. Your frequency is activating those around you. Even the ones that seem to resist or pull away are going to open into this next level of being. The beingness is where you are living now. Notice the density fall from existence. You may still feel the charges of density, but it will fade much faster as this transition continues. The back of the head at the zeal point are almost completely open now. The light coming in here will regulate the frequency ranges within your auric field. Keep entering the darkness. It is where you will stimulate up to the next level. You will be close to the one, the codes, and you will activate much faster, so allow space and time to flow. Observe when time captures you. Where does it go? Look inside the grid to see beyond the limitation of time in these moments. It will be like a burst through a black hole. See all of existence pass through you at once until you reach the God particle. Continue to do this until it becomes second nature. You naturally will be in all dimensions at one time. It is as though your being is being placed beyond time and space, where there is no separation. The fifth dimension is starting to spin. See through the fourth and get a glimpse of the frequencies coming in. It's iridescent silver with specks of purple. It is the energy of the One, the vibration of Om. We, the Counsel, will be bringing in more and more of this light, which will help support you beyond space and time. It will fully integrate within you until you lose all duality. All right, so we just are going to allow the frequency of this writing to just continue to support us as we move throughout this day until we meet again next week. And I'm just sending so much love from my heart to all of you until we meet again. Thank you, Naomi and Barbara.
Thank you. I love you.
Thank you. I love you both.
Ah.